Okay. Let's do this.
A very random segment with Bradley and Clee. A very random segment.
Hola, you amazing artist, and welcome to the disaster zone that is our art studio. As you can see, everything is in complete chaos. We just got back from our month-long adventure out on the road where we are finding a new home, and there are big announcements to come soon on all of that stuff. And for everybody that subscribed to the adventure channel where we're posting those videos, thank you so much. I'll be editing video and posting video within the next month and basically letting you guys know what's going on with us. But I did want to give you guys an update to what's happening right now. We did get in and got into a not so great surprise. So we just got home and that air conditioning unit leaked all over Clee's bench. You could see all her tools in here are wet and rusting. Her bench is warped. Yeah, everything is soaked. Pretty much what we've been doing is taking the studio apart. Unfortunately, the leak happened right over Clee's bench, and yeah, it was a really disheartening sight. You okay?
I'll be okay.
So being who we are and looking at this situation and realizing like, okay, well, how can we shift the perspective? It's so easy to just let this kind of thing sink us down because we have orders and we have stuff and I have possible commissions that are going on and there's just a lot going on right now. And when you get overwhelmed, when the shit hits the fan, it is very easy to just allow things to get you down, get you to a place where like your creativity, your happiness, your joy, all that stuff just goes out the window. When it is the unexpected little surprises that pop up in life, you can totally lose your shit, which we almost did. And I've got hundreds of hours of footage of our adventure that we are narrating and doing all the stuff. And of course, the studio being a disaster how it is. You guys usually see the studio in the background and it kind of looks like a mess, but honestly, it's very organized. So like this actually makes my skin crawl a little bit because nothing is in its place. During times like these, the most important thing I could do is take a look at where it is that we're heading, right? Take a look at right now and what's going on right now and say, okay, well, how can I look at this from a completely different perspective? Is this a huge mess that we didn't want to deal with, or is this an opportunity to start packing right away? We're still at a point where we're up in the air as far as like what's going to happen with the house, so it's kind of ridiculous to pack up right now, but we're going to move forward as if things are happening because that's just what we do. We always move forward. So the thing is that life happens. Life happens, and sometimes life is like, hey, guess what? We're going to throw this wrench into the mix. And you have all these plans where you're like, okay, well, when we get home, I got this to update. We have videos to edit this weekend. I have a show coming down today. I have another show coming down tomorrow. As far as the book is concerned, I will be working on the book and the audiobook. We're looking at a large painting that possibly we are going to fly out to California and come back and pack up the rest of the studio, pack up a U-Haul, and then just hit the road and go to our new destination, packing up the studio, which is a behemoth in of itself, and just doing this, what seems like an impossible trip. One of the things that I've learned being on the road for the last month and meeting some of the amazing artists that we've met with and hanging out with some amazing creatives and some of our rogue community from Patreon, even when things seem like they are at their worst, there is always a silver lining. There is always somewhere that you could head. There is always a way to move forward, and you may not see where you're heading, but the thing is that the destination is in mind. The reason I wanted to do this video is because for the most part, like a lot of times you see like, yay, happiness and like, yay, and all this stuff on YouTube. The truth of the matter is that like sometimes things don't go according to plan. They just don't go according to plan, and it sucks. And that's one of the biggest roadblocks that you run into when you are trying to do this art career thing, like because of what's going on right now, we've had to shut down our online our website as far as sales go, and that is not fun. Basically, we are not going to be making any money off of our art for the next month, and that's terrifying. There are a lot of unknowns that pop up whenever you are pursuing something that you want, whether it is an art career, whether you want to move, whether you have a project that you're working on, whether you are doing something that you've never done before. There are always going to be challenges that pop up. And honestly, the way that you deal with those challenges gives you an insight into who you have the potential to be. Even if you're somebody who generally tells a story in your mind of like, yeah, when things fall apart, I fall apart, or, you know, anything like that, any of those stories that kind of diminishes who you think you are and what it is that you can deal with. The thing is that when those situations come up, most times we will prove to ourselves that we could deal with the impossible. And yeah, you're going to be surrounded by naysayers, and people are going to say, oh, it's impossible, or like, oh, I'm so sorry, that's not going to work out, or whatever it is that they say. And you're also going to be surrounded by people that are going to be rooting for you and pushing you forward. And that's one of the things that we've been able to experience with our Rogue family online. Like, a lot of creative people from all around the world who have been rooting for us to keep moving forward in this thing that we're doing, because all of this is outside of our comfort zone. We've run into the naysayers as well. And the beauty is that, like, we get to pick and choose who it is that we are going to pay attention to, who it is that we're going to give our focus to. And for the most part, when we run into a naysayer, yes, we'll listen to what they have to say. If it is somebody who is discouraging and says, no, that's impossible, or blah, 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 I don't believe in impossible. We've run into so many roadblocks over the last decade when it comes to anything, whether it is being rejected or putting ourselves out there or doing a show and it's just crickets. Like, nobody pays attention to you and you don't sell stuff for months. And facing those challenges and facing those fears and understanding that, like, when that stuff happens, either you give up or you just keep moving forward. You just keep moving forward. You just look at the situation and say, okay, that's fine. Let's just keep moving forward. I know that the videos lately have been a little bit more like in this serious tone, but honestly, like, there's a lot of changes going on right now. There are a lot of changes going on right now, and I am an emotional roller coaster, just trying to make sense of it all and understanding that there is no way that I'm going to be able to make sense of it all, because none of this stuff of life makes sense. All you can do is really go for the ride and make the most of it. This video ended up being a complete and utter ramble, but here are my updates for you guys. So I'm going to be editing the videos from our adventure, and you'll be able to follow us traveling up north and the whole house buying process, and some of the really cool places that we saw and some of the nightmarish places that we saw. And with the book, I think I'm going to wait until we move to get all that finished. I've gotten a lot of feedback from you guys that have read the pre-order PDF versions of the book, and so there's going to be some changes. So everybody that pre-ordered the book on Indiegogo, I'm going to update you guys, but once we get past all this stuff, I'll know a little bit more about deadlines and things like that. So at this point, everything is sort of up in the air. And yeah, so just bear with us as we make this huge transition in our life, and just know that our sights are set on some really amazing, fun things that we have not been able to do on this channel because of restrictions here where we live right now. Just a lot of really cool stuff, and we're looking forward to all of that. So just bear with us through this transitional state that will probably last a few months as we get our shirt together. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support and your love and your encouragement. You guys have no idea how much that has meant to us, how supportive our patrons have been, how supportive you guys have been. It's just been, it's been a crazy roller coaster ride as we figure out this new chapter in our life. And yeah, everything is changing. So obviously that's scary. that is scary. The security that was there, even if it was just a little bit, is now dissipating and we're moving forward. So thank you so much, you guys. You have no idea how much I adore you. And yeah, I will update you when we can. We will update you guys. And yeah, I adore you. And I will talk to you later. Adios.